Every day, my company gets scam phishing emails trying to get money or sensitive info. I wanted to protect my employees and my clients, so I checked out CISA's Secure Our World. They've got simple ways we can protect our businesses from online threats. First, teach employees to recognize and report phishing. Next, require strong passwords plus multi-factor authentication. And finally, turn on automatic updates for your business software. To learn more, go to CISA at cisa.gov/Secure Our World.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
In the year 247, in the age of judges, Vartan was summoned home by a letter stating that his father had died under mysterious circumstances. Upon returning home, Vartan opened his mind to the possibility that his father's death and his hometown of Eterno was not everything that it appeared to be. Welcome to Ethereal Embrace. I'm Baya, and wheat is a cereal grain. My favorite cereal is grape nuts. It's just yummy, and it can be used for yogurt and granola and cobbler, and I don't have to defend grape nuts to you. You'll get it. If you ever make it to my age.
Day 2, afternoon, Terraneil Fallencloud's farmstead. So you guys make it out to the farms. You guys were going first to Terraneil's farm, right?
Yes.
Okay. You get to Terraneil's farm. Terraneil right now has a good crop of wheat growing, and it is really good wheat, actually. I mean, really large. All of the plants look healthy. There's no poor spots in the crop as you walk the path up to Terraneil's house, which is very uncommon, right? You should at least see some dead spots. You should see some smaller spots, but it all looks like it's just picture-perfect wheat. And you can see both farmsteads from Terraneil's house. He lives in the southern side of the farms.
Yeah.
And then Timorin lives on the northern side of the farm. So you kind of go along the paths. You're up against the wheat, and you see him out working the fields, actually. Working the edges of the fields. So he's cutting back with one of those it's like a giant push metal mower where... What are they called? They're like push mowers that don't have engines. We have them even in the real world. What are
tillers?
Do we know what they're called?
They're just called mowers. They just don't have an engine. The wheels turn the blades. The blades
like a giant. Yeah. Yep. So it's like a really big one. So it's got like 4 sets of wheels and blades that run between it. And so he's mowing along the lines of the farm to trim out all the grass and weeds and stuff that are going. But you can see him. He's a halfling that's just out there mowing his yard as you guys come up around the farms.
Hey, Terraneil.
He can hear you because it doesn't have an engine.
Yeah.
He stops mowing, and he turns back and he says, "Vartan, it's really nice to see you. How are you doing?"
I'm doing all right. Seems your crops are doing pretty well.
Oh, yes. Greyhawk definitely blessed us this year. They are lovely out there.
Imagine it's working pretty well for other farmers as well.
Oh, yeah. Timorin's farm's doing really well this year as well. But you know us, the crops here in Eterno always seem to pull out pretty well when we need them to. It's just been a good year. Can I offer you some watermelon wine? We had a good watermelon patch this year on the other side of the farm.
Yeah, we'll take 3 cups.
Three cups. Oh, okay. Well, why don't I leave this here and we can head on up to the house and quench that thirst for you. I know I definitely could use a glass of watermelon wine. He goes over and starts walking up to the house and catching up with you. You guys were actually closer to his house than what he was. Okay. So he starts moving his little halfling legs to catch up with you, and gets to the door. It's got 2 steps up to the porch, but it's a very like old colonial style house that's got porch swing out there and just very nice. White picket fence that goes around the house. Very, very fashionable. But the house is small. It is halfling built. So you, Vartan, are immediately just coming up the steps, have to duck to get onto the front porch, and then have to even duck farther down to get into the front door. Actually, all of you have to duck because you're all tall, but Vartan even more. You're how tall?
I'm 7'9".
Holy.
7'9". Yes.
I mean, should I wait outside? should we sit outside?
That's up to you. I kind of
you know what, Terraneil?
It's gonna be like
I think it'll be better if we sit outside. So just bring stuff out here. Be good.
Terraneil pops his head back out, looking through the doorway, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I'll be right back. Would you?" And you can hear him like as he's going deeper into his house. He's like, "Would you like ice cubes in your watermelon wine?"
Hey, y'all want ice cubes?
I've never had watermelon wine. Is it better cold?
I mean, it's wine.
I would prefer no ice cubes. I think that watermelon wine sounds good without it.
Yeah, try no ice cubes.
Yeah, give me 1 with ice cubes and 2 without.
What? Right. Okay. And he, after just a few moments, comes out with 2 nicer glasses with watermelon wine in it and some ice cubes. They're like fancy glasses, and then 2 like mason jar style jugs with watermelon wine in it that are without the ice cubes. And he's like, here you go. And he scoops his up and takes his straw hat off his head and wipes his forehead, and he's like, "Ooh, it is a warm one today, isn't it?" He starts drinking his watermelon wine.
Oh, yeah.
And he sits down in a tiny little chair, looks at the swing and says, "Maybe that would fit you, or, the steps."
You know what? I'll just, you know what? I sat a bunch this morning. I'll just take a knee and I'll give you some shade, man.
Well, I'm sure I know what you're here to speak about. And how are you holding up?
I'm holding up all right. I just want to get to the bottom of this. I heard you found my paw.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was me that found him. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Baya says to Vartan, "Actually, I think that ice cubes might be good. It's pretty warm out. I'm just going to go in and grab some. I'll be back." And she goes into the house.
Okay.
And she's really just like kind of looking around. It's weird that the farm is perfect. Like they've had such a good watermelon growing season and everything else, and watermelon and wheat at the same time. Like it just feels really weird to her. So she just wants to kind of like look around to see if there's any like arcana, like any magic going on.
Yeah, go ahead and...
But they can have their conversation.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation roll while you're wandering around, and we'll go back to their conversation while you're doing that. Okay. All right, so back to you, Vartan.
Yeah, don't mind her. We'll just. So what's going on? How'd you find my paw?
Well, there's a small cabin outside of the farm. Couple miles into the woods here. I can give you the path to get there if you'd like. But I was out there hunting rabbits, and I came across the cabin. And honestly, I've seen that cabin, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 times over the last few years. Never paid much heed to it. Honestly, kind of forget that it's there. It's super run down. But the door was open to it. And not just opened, it was smashed in. And I don't know, I never saw it like that before, so I went and checked it out. And as soon as I got to the steps, I could see the blood. It was gruesome. It was really gruesome. I had some of my tools with me, and I went in and found your father there, and I tried really hard to bring him back to town on my own, but I'm just such a small guy, and he's just such a big fella, you know? So I ended up leaving him on the path for a little bit and came back and got some people to help me. But, yeah, it's still have nightmares about it.
Sorry you had to find him that way. Sorry you're having nightmares, and I'm sorry to bring up this after not seeing you for so long, but anything other than that stand out to you about his death?
Well, have you talked to the judge? Did he give you the book that I found?
Yeah, I got it. I haven't. I just came from there. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, other than what he told me about it.
Okay. Yeah, so there were some weird things. First, there were claw marks all over the ceilings and the walls. And not just like something was clawing at him, but something was on the ceiling and on the walls and launched itself off. I don't know. I don't know much about these things, but it was weird. The markings were weird. And when I found him, he had scratches and stuff on him, sure, but he had a large wound in the center of his chest and a blackness, like a rot, was kind of around the wound already. And he couldn't have been out there for that long. Maybe 2 days at most that he was missing from town. It didn't make sense.
You never seen anything like this rot before, have you?
I have not.
Have you seen anything since?
No, sir.
I appreciate you letting me know that. You know what? I think my friend did want some ice. Mind if I see if she can find the ice?
What was that? Oh, ice? Yeah. Help yourself to the ice. And he takes a large drink of his iced watermelon wine and then grabs one of the mason jar style thing, cups, and refills his own with the ice cubes in it and says, "Yeah, there's a whole jug of the wine in there too. If you just want to bring that out, might need a little bit more."
Yeah, I think that's a good call there, friend. Yeah, I'll be right back. Head inside. Are you gonna say something?
Yeah, you can head inside, but what I will say is, Baya.
I rolled a 16.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks. So with a 16, you don't find anything specific in the house that has like magical runes or a magical aura, but you do feel almost like that static electricity ozone feeling all around the house. Like there is magic everywhere, and you didn't quite notice it when you came on the farm, but once you went into the house and started looking for it, you can't stop feeling it now. Just a little low level vibration that your arcana shows you or gives you, and you can just feel it everywhere.
Wow.
Now.
And now I take it I see Vartan.
Yeah, and you see Vartan coming in the house toward the kitchen area.
Okay.
Hey, Baya, you taking quite a while in here. You find that ice?
Yeah, I did. Can you, so just so you know, there's like this weird vibe energy around the entire house. Like, my hair on my arm is on ends. Is Terraneil some sort of wizard?
I don't think so. I haven't been around for a while, but I don't think so. You feeling something?
Huh. Yeah, it's just like, that feeling when the hair on the back of your neck stands up and it's just But it's just this entire house. Like, that fuzzy feeling, like the static in the radio. It's just the feeling of it. That's what this entire area feels like. And it just seemed really weird to me that it just has perfect watermelon and perfect wheat at the same time. I feel like those are two separate climate crops.
Yeah. No, I understand.
As you say that, Baya, you motion behind you. There are also hanging nets for veggies that are there. Mm-hmm. There are onions that are twice the size of what an onion would normally be. There are potatoes on the table that are huge, and there are pears like larger than any pear you've ever seen before. So just all of the vegetation in this house is oversized and beautiful looking.
And also, look at these giant potatoes. I mean, what are you going to do with them? That's the world's biggest baked potato. What do you need a potato that big for? He's one person.
I'm going to use my Furbolg magic to cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, so you cast that. You do sense that presence of magic, but it's not like a specific item. Just like before, it's not a specific item, but it's a faint aura that's all around the house, all around. Well, what is that? 30 feet that the spell is, I think, from where you are.
Yeah, range
60 feet maybe.
Yeah, in School of Magic. It says if any, like it may not be a School of Magic.
So the School of Magic that you sense is Abjuration.
Can you tell me what Abjuration is? I'm not familiar with that School of Magic.
Yeah, so School of Abjuration emphasizes magic that blocks, banishes, or protects.
So it's just like a protection spell.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible that, he came across some good luck. He's done some good deeds. But maybe he knows, maybe something's going on that he's not letting us know. I mean, surely he can't think that this is just luck, right?
Maybe the priest has something to do with this.
I mean,
or one of the priests does.
That's possible, or even your father. I mean, he did good around the city. It feels like a protection spell, you said. Then
he did have that magic stone that I picked up.
Yeah.
Too, so
I don't think that anything malevolent is happening, and I think we should give Terraneil the benefit of the doubt. He's not harming anyone by having good crops. He's possibly even helping people. Maybe we should ask him what he knows, right? Because he hasn't been upfront with us about this. Obviously, surely he can't think that, I can just grow giant potatoes.
Well, it might not be a thing that he knows is happening. He said crops always come through when they need them to.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
In the city. So it could be a blessing that the priests do every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it has more power than they realize. Or the ground could be blessed from one of the gods centuries ago and they just forgot about it.
Yeah, he did praise Greyhawk.
It may just be the way things are here.
I mean, no harm in asking and congratulating him on what's actually going on.
Yeah.
But I did find my ice, so I'm ready to head out whenever you are. It's pretty warm in here and tiny.
Yeah, let's you know what, let me fill up one of these glasses with more ice. We might need some more ice out there. I'm gonna grab this pitcher as well. And I'm hoping the priests don't have anything to do with this, but yeah, let's just go out.
And Vartan, you are literally bent like at the waist.
Yeah.
Navigating.
Yeah. Your army crawling out the door.
Okay, so yeah, so you get the ice, you get the jug of watermelon wine, and you come back out onto the porch, and you see that Terraneil is chilling, just kind of drinking and staring into his cup. And it is pretty warm out today, so his ice cubes are already melted in his glass. And you walk out, and he doesn't even look at you or the glass or anything. He's just kind of focused on his cup.
I'm gonna get back in the sunlight and cast the shadow over him again.
Once you do that, he looks up and realizes that your giant self is looming over him, and he says, "Oh, more ice. Could I have a cube or two of that ice? Freshen up my drink?"
Well, yeah, it's your ice.
Oh, thank you. And he pulls a couple cubes out of the cup and throws it in his cup. And were there other questions that you had?
Vartan, why don't I try to take this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, there are a couple questions, Terraneil. First, do you think that it's just normal that your crops are just perfect whenever you need them to be? Or do you think there's some sort of magic going on? Are you aware of that?
I don't know. I guess that there could be some magic, but not that I know of. I'm not really a magician by any means, but I mean, I do feel better. Like when my crops are doing better, I feel better. Maybe it's Greyhawk blessing me. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Greyhawk blessing you. Absolutely. It would be super nice. So, you think that possibly a god is blessing you and your crops and allowing you to grow watermelon and wheat at the same time.
When you say it that way, it sounds kind of silly, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
But yeah, I mean, I don't have any other explanation for it. It's just the way it's always been here at Eterno.
I see. So you've never looked into it. You just are a farmer and you mind your own innocent business, which is adorable, by the way. Very adorable.
Thank you.
And she puts her hand on his shoulder.
He definitely looks down at the hand and then back up and takes a drink and says, "Yeah, I've always lived under the assumption that when things are going well, try not to question it."
That's fair. Insight? Can I roll insight?
Yeah, make an insight. Yep.
Oh, I rolled a nat 1.
Roll again.
17 that time. Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, you believe Terraneil. He seems legit. Like he's this innocent farmer. Yeah.
Innocent and adorable.
Very optimistic.
She picks him up and gives him a hug and says, "Bless you. You have been wonderful. This wine is delicious. And, bless your crops. Not that they need it, but bless them anyway."
He is going to make a save real quick to see if he spills his drink. He got a nat 20, so yeah. So you go to pick him up, and he lifts his arm shoot straight up in the air so that you can pick him up around the chest, and he's holding his cup above his head, not spilling it, and he's like, thank you for, and he takes his hand that doesn't have a cup in it and pats you on the shoulder and says, "Thank you for the blessing. Those are kind words. I'm really glad that you're not angry with me."
Why would I be angry with you?
Oh, I didn't know how you would react after finding out that I'm the one that found your father, and he kind of died outside my property, so I just was nervous.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that he died, but your watermelon and wheat lived. Sorry, I'm really stuck on that. I'm really stuck on watermelon and wheat growing at the same time.
This is bullshit.
He
That's not how weather works.
Can you set me down now?
Oh, for sure, darling. So yeah, it's funny, huh? What was that property used for?
That's where I hunt sometimes. I like to go hunting when I can.
Oh. So, all these bountiful plants aren't good enough for you.
You need some meat, I guess.
I'm sorry. She thinks that, but she doesn't say it. And what she says is, oh, that makes sense. So had you just not gone hunting? Is that why the cabin was in such disarray?
The cabin was not really mine. It's not really a hunting cabin. I always figured it was somebody else in town, their property. Honestly, actually, make a persuasion check.
Okay. Oops. I rolled a 19 on the ground.
Okay,
Does that count?
Cool.
It's on the ground. First,
Yeah,
plus
I count
8.
it, yeah.
27.
I trust y'all. Okay. I just with your insight being a 1, I figured I would make this a thing. So he says, yeah, honestly, from what I remember, the cabin was Kiirion's cabin. It's part of the property that he owns outside of the city.
Oh.
Did you not know that? Seems like something you would have known.
Do I have the deed paperwork of all of his properties? Did I get that?
Yeah, you still have. Yep, you got the deed and the box.
I want to pull out those deeds and flip through them and see if I see anything on the property out on the outskirts of Terraneil's property.
You do not. You don't find anything that includes a cabin. The 7 properties that you find are all houses. And they're all houses inside of the old district.
Did you ever see my father going out there before finding him?
No, I never saw anyone go in and out of there. That's why I didn't think your father would be mad about me hunting on his property. I mean, it butts up against my property, but nobody was ever out there, so I didn't think any harm would come.
So what made you think it was his property, though?
Well, I'm pretty sure Kiirion owned most of the property in the woods around the city.
Yeah, I reckon that makes sense.
If it was already on his property, there wouldn't be a deed, or if it's just a building he built in his yard.
Yeah.
But I mean, wouldn't the paperwork that Vartan has, wouldn't it outline the properties?
No, the paperwork that he has doesn't even include Vartan's house where he grew up in, Kiirion's house, or the stable. That deed, you assume, is probably at the house somewhere. Okay. The 7 property deeds he has are only random houses inside, and they've got addresses on them, but they're all inside Old District.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. She's gonna look at y'all and be like, I think that this guy is very innocent and everything that he's doing. I don't think that he knows a whole lot. I can't really tell, but I mean, he's a good guy, just benefiting from privilege that he doesn't want to recognize, possibly.
I agree. I don't think he was doing anything he shouldn't
Malicious.
have been. He just happened to be the one that found Kiirion.
Yeah.
He wasn't out there sneaking around. It was just a matter of wrong place, wrong time, and he stumbled on the body.
And I mean, up to you all, if you want to ask him a little bit more about the body. I know that he told us there was a hole and it was decaying inside the hole in the body. But I'm not sure how you feel, Vartan, about hearing about your deceased father's dead body.
I think the only question I have is about how far out is the cabin from here, from your land?
Just a few miles.
And about how far from the spot in the woods where you left him?
I was able to move him for about a half a mile, but a halfling carrying a furbog it's a lot of work.
Yeah, of course. About what direction from the cabin were you carrying him?
Let me draw you up a map. How does that sound? And I'll mark it on the map.
Yeah, that works.
All right, he starts to wave you inside to follow him and then stops and says, I'll I'll bring the paper out to you. And he scurries inside to get his paper and his quill and stuff, and he comes out and he starts drawing it. He's like, well, this isn't going to be very good, but he spends a good amount of time making a very meticulous map. Like, he starts drawing in details, and he starts trying to remember specific trees along the path, and he makes it to scale off the side or off the top of his head. It takes him a good 30 minutes to draw up this map for you.
All right. And I'm guessing all three of us have drank our watermelon wine.
Yeah.
With ice now. Did Ovyck ever get any ice?
No, I didn't take the ice.
Okay.
Took it straight.
All right. And Terraneil, I appreciate everything you've told us. Sorry to bring up the terrible ordeal that you went through finding my father. And I appreciate the wine for us and the map. And I mean, for your trouble, here's a gold.
He stops for a second. He lifts his hand. He's like, I couldn't possibly take a gold from you. Not for this. Like, I would feel so wrong. Like, your father just passed away, and in a horrible way, horrible manner. If there's anything else that I can do to help you, please let me know. I'm happy to help.
All right. Well, I mean, always appreciate your hospitality, friend. And have you had any of these creatures attacking your property and your home that they're talking about in town?
I've had a couple come through my fields. Yeah. I started working on some scarecrows to put out in the field and see if they can help ward them off, but so far, no luck. Mostly I just lock my doors up and hide away and make sure the lights are off every night after dusk.
And they haven't tried to come inside, have they?
Not yet, no.
All right, well, yeah, make sure you keep doing that so you don't get in trouble.
Sounds good, Vartan. It was really nice to see you.
Yeah, and hopefully things will get a little bit better and we can actually have a real reunion.
Yeah, I would like that. I'll bring the watermelon wine.
Oh, it's great, bud.
All right. Does that wrap up your encounter there?
Yeah, I think so.
You guys start walking down the street, and you can hear the children that are over in Timorin's farm.
Yeah.
Because you're that close to the farmhouse now. You can hear them playing a game, some game where they're running. You can hear them running and squealing, maybe tag or hide and seek or something. But you can definitely hear the three children all playing on Timorin's farm. But yeah, so what's next for you guys?
We wanted to go talk to Timorin, see if he'd give us more information than the judge gave us about their thoughts on if Kiirion had something to do with the attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wanted to go to the cabin.
And shrooms.
And as we go to the dude, right, Timorin, we want to pick some mushrooms.
Yeah.
While we're there, yeah.
I do need to retcon something. When you used detect magic, the box that you had flared up too.
Okay.
Very high magic source.
I'm guessing the stone too, but we already know it's magic.
Oh yeah, you've got the stone with you. Yep, that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the stone is magic. Yep. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ethereal Embrace, and A Fool's Quest production. Vartan the Furbog Fighter is voiced and played by Adam Culbertson. Baya Rustin, the half-elf sorcerer, is voiced and played by Tisha. Ovyck, the Tiefling Cleric, is voiced and played by Chris Johnson. And I am Nico, your GM. Please remember to drop us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcatcher. Music provided in part by Midnight Syndicate, makers of the original Dungeons & Dragons soundtrack. If you would like to follow us on social media or say hello to the cast, details on where to find us will be in this episode's notes. Remember, be safe, we love you all, and stay foolish.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.